Hello. Krista is hero of the month. As you know, Krista is the probably lesser known part of the twins. Like there's Krista and then there's Lars. More people I think Lars is better than Krista, but I actually think the opposite. They obviously work really well together. Like a lot of times you will see them together, but there are some places where I think Krista shines a bit more. I think she's a bit better on her own than Lars. I think she has more utility. But we'll talk about her stuff here. But let's go look at her stats. Krista has never known her parents, but her loneliness helped the orphan to better understand her mysterious talent for ice magic. Her life was transformed when she saved young Mage from certain death. Sources recognized him as her brother, Lars, who had been separated from her since birth. Krista became his loyal partner. So there you go. Like Lars is her twin brother. I think they're twins, or maybe not. They're close in age. That's all I know. I think I read. I seems like I read the stories back 5 years ago. I cannot remember the exact details, but they are brother and sister. But let's go look at her skills. So Icy Vengeance is her ult. This is not a particularly great ult. It just hits enemies 1 by 1 with 5 ice crystals, dealing area damage. So it's just magic damage, not very strong. Her ult's pretty meh. The main thing you get out of is magic attack bonus. Chains of Frost. Krista hits the enemies with reduce their magic defense, applying a mark of water to them. Sebastian's though just running blocks this, but water marks are kind of pointless for Krista herself. Lars, if an enemy has water marks, Lars does extra damage to them with his one of his abilities or two of his abilities. Because he does lightning damage, they take extra damage. But Sebastian does remove these and block these marks, so you won't see this one too much. Frozen Needles. This is kind of like the main one that you pair her with Lars for is she puts all the frozen needles on the ground. And any movement over those causes damage. So every the thorns, they melt after a while, but it's all the damage upon movement. I was 18,000, but it's Lars, he with the storm moves him around. Over up, there's other heroes like Maya can move heroes and stuff. There's a few heroes who can cause that. Lars is obviously the most consistent and reliable at this. But then there's crystallization, and this is what I think probably makes Krista an interesting hero in general, besides just pairing with Lars. That is when she's in danger taking major damage, Krista summons an ice block that protects the cast for 2 seconds by partially absorbing any income damage, and it absorbs 86% of all damage. And this makes her really tanky versus hard hitters that hit the front line or whatever, like Ishmael. I've done videos about how you can use Krista to tank against Ishmael. In a lot of ways, she's the best tank versus Ishmael. I'll probably link that video down at the end of this video. But this ability right here, I do think makes her a really interesting pick for tanks and stuff. For against certain teams like Ishmael. This is why I think she's better than Lars. But because we have to, it's really hard to talk about Krista. I'll talk about Lars. We have to go talk about Lars now. So Lars, I said, yes, Eye of the Storm. This is but this also applies watermarks, but it moves the heroes. And it's a bit random. It usually pushes them back a bit. In most cases, sometimes it doesn't, but it's a bit random in how it moves them. But as it moves them, if the ice needles are down, they will take damage for that. And then of course he has Chain Lightning, Lightning Bolt. This one can stun. It also does extra damage. The watermark. Watermark enemies are prioritized in enemies with mark of water. This does more damage to them. So he does extra damage. They have the watermarks. His ult puts watermarks on, but Chris is definitely more consistent with the watermarks. But this is why you usually do Krista and Lars instead of just Krista. Well, like I said, there are some places where you would just do Krista by herself. Where is she? But let's go talk about her artifacts. As I said, she does buff magic attack. She has a health and magic attack book, arcane knowledge, and then of course intelligence ring. So nothing too noteworthy there. Obviously she gets the health. Like I said, she's pretty tanky. You can use her in a tank as a tank in certain lines against certain teams. Skins, she has quite a few. She has a magic attack skin, which she has 2 magic attacks. Those are probably your priority. She has an armor skin, intelligence skin. I'd say that's probably the 3rd one after the magic attack. Do the magic attack, then intelligence, then probably armor, and then probably health last. There are some reasons why you might not want to do health on her, and that has to do with this being a percentage based, like how much, like if you want her to crystal block more hits, keep her max health a bit lower, makes her crystal chance come up a bit more. But then again, she will have less overall health, which means she'll die quicker to pure damage from like enemy heroes like Heidi or Maya. So I generally think health is good on her, but there are a few niche cases where you might want to keep that low. And same other thing with the glyphs, you want to do magic attack first, followed by intelligence, then armor, magic defense, health last. Ascension said she's on the mage branch. Her regular, like I said, is pretty normal. She does not get magic penetration. On this, she does not have any magic penetration naturally. So that's another thing about. She can't use Merlin either, but if you pair with Lars, like, well, she doesn't do a lot of damage anyway, except on one paired with Lars. Because the frozen needles, like, really her only real source damages, and you have to really pair with Lars or another hero who can move enemies. So her damage potential is pretty low if Lars isn't with her, but she is good. She is good tank versus like Ishmael and stuff. But Lars, when he ults, he buffs magic penetration, so her main source damage ends up getting magic penetration, so it ends up being kind of a non-factor. Like, yeah, see, she has 2,000 magic penetration from the mage branch. That's literally where all that comes from. But it's literally her only source of natural magic penetration. But again, doesn't matter. You just have to pair her with Lars for damage if you want to do damage there. Otherwise, she's tanky. But yeah, let's go. Gosh. Da-da-da. So, I'm just gonna put her by herself. Just to kind of show you what I mean by the tanky aspect, because I keep bringing it up. Like I said, I will link a video about this, like, below, like, at the end, but, where's my Ishmael? Here he is. Gosh, I hit the wrong button. Right, so a lot of times Ishmael can literally run over a lot of heroes, but, you can see, like, Krista is able to block like this. What a crystallization does. This is what I mean by her being really tanky. And, she can tank Ishmael, like, all day. Like, she's easily the best tank against Ishmael. Like, Ishmael can one-shot most tanks, but not Krista. And that has to do with the crystallization ability. It takes him a long time. There you go, it took him almost 40 seconds. Like, so yeah, like I said, so that's why I think she's pretty solid there, but probably the main reason why you would use, we have a... That one might win. Alright, but so twins, we're gonna put a team up here. Let's do Dante. Let's do... I guess we could do Rufus, sure. Sebastian. Let's do Martha. So let's take a line like this. You might see a line like this occasionally, right? And the twins can be really good versus this line, like Krista, Lars. Like, so if we used a team I call Trinity Twins, because we used the Holy Trinity plus the twins. So we have to use Morgan, not Sebastian, sorry, because they're using Rufus. We don't really need Sebastian against them, because they don't really have any status effects, so we'll just do this. Oops. Oliver, there we go, that's what we want. So we'll do this. And, so that's the ice needles. They'll probably fall away before Lars gets his ult off. Putting Merlin on her does let her ice needles come out a bit more often, makes her a bit more consistency. They just faded, but she just put them up again. That's because Merlin gives her that spell haste. Alright, and then we're gonna ult here real soon. So here comes the ults, and you see how they're all take that magic damage? That's from the ice needles. All that damage from the moving. So that's how that works. That's how Krista's ability there works. They have synergy that way. But yeah, there's a lot of teams that the twins could just run over, like said, which like, especially like Aurora Celeste twins, really good together. Sebastian, protect against a lot of status effects against a lot of teams, like This is probably, if like said, variation of this line is probably my most used team, like in like PvP on this account, just because they're just so good at getting wins. I wouldn't recommend it for defense, but as an attacking team, they're just pretty good. Boom, just like that. Only took a minute 10. Boom, like said. You see Krista, she actually did a lot of damage here, and that's most of it came from ice needles. And most of that happened during the Eye of the Storm when Lars ulted. She took some damage there. And I'll probably, like I said, I showed you the Ishmael, right? Like I did a full like video tutorial about like running Krista alliance against Ishmael. And I said I'm gonna link that down below. Not too much more to say on this one, so if you want to check out that Krista versus Ishmael video, find that below. And as always, thank you for watching.